Today I'm going to be showcasing and discussing and then breaking down my dash mechanic that I've implemented that doesn't actually teleport the player. It uses timelines and line traces with your capsule component to determine if the new location is good enough for you to move forward to. Then you can use this in many different ways, such as trying to get across new areas or even going through walls. So, now that it's been showcased, let's break it down. So basically, I have this set up to an event that I call when I press this. The event basically uses a macro that quickly decides if I am dashing, and then to basically subtract that amount by your dash maximum count. And it does this from getting this information in the construction script that basically says my dash count is 3, but if I wanted to, I can make it less or more. So it's pretty modular in that. So then after that, it will start the cooldown, which basically is a quick integer setup that basically resets the cooldown based off of whatever the developer decides. I just have it at 0.1. But if somebody was to use this dash, they could set it to longer or shorter time periods. And how this works is it plays the montage, and then based off the animation, I set it up so that it could be modular, so that you could basically set up the time the animation takes, divide it by the duration, and then divide it by 2. And then this does all the math for moving you forward over time. So if I go down to this event here that it finally calls on, this is doing all the math with the capsule component and the timeline to determine your new location. So it basically uses the vectors to figure out where you started, and then it will determine where the end will be if it's a safe location. If it's a safe location for you to be, that isn't going to cause you to fall through the ground or be stuck into objects, then it will either try to teleport you to the closest safe space as long as it's actually worth dashing. But if it's not really worth dashing, it will block you, which I can kind of show you in game really fast. So if for some reason I can't uh, dash, it'll push me to the nearest location instead. Because it's using the line traces and the timeline to kind of figure out where you would be. So essentially, it's like speeding you up through time and moving you forward to that location. So if I'm really close to here, it won't move me at all just because there isn't a safe space at all. And that's why the green boxes are showing up, because it's showing up. It tried to go that far, but it wasn't able to do so because there's too much of the wall that prevents you from dashing. But for example, with the wall being shorter here, I can dash through no problem. So yeah, but back to how it determines all of that. So here's just checking, like I said, which location is a valid along the path, because it's like moving you through time really quickly. And then it'll loop with the capsule components each time as it's trying to check if there's an next appropriate location that you can move forward to. If not, then it just will pretty much not move you forward at all. And then here, it's basically determining if it's an object you can go through or not. So it's using an array to kind of figure that out as it does multiple capsule traces. And then if it's valid, then you can go to that next location, which is this array that I set up here. And I kind of already talked about this while doing the demonstration, so that's why I'm not really re-going over it. I'm just kind of showcasing the work that I did to put in the effort. So yeah, that is going to be pretty much my coverage and breakdown for the tutorial. I could go on and in more depth, but I feel like that would have took too long. Thank you all for watching.